In this video I want to talk about attic conversions. Attic conversions would be a very common feature of the Irish housing stock, especially dormer bungalows. For an Irish person, a dormer roof, or indeed for any person probably, a dormer roof and a growing family is too big a temptation to resist. So inevitably a lot of dormers and a lot of properties have the attic converted. You need to be careful though if you're buying a second-hand property and it has an attic conversion. You need to check that there is planning permission for it, and you need to check that if there is planning permission, that it has been carried out in accordance with building regulations and that there is a certificate of compliance with building regulations and planning permission. It is easy, I've done it myself. With a growing family, the roof space can be, especially in a dormer property, because it's got a big roof by definition, dormier being the French for to sleep, big roof, it's difficult to resist the temptation. You need to be careful. I've seen plenty of planning permissions then as well, where the permission is granted for a 3, 4, 5 bedroom property perhaps, and one of the special conditions within the planning would be that the attic space is used for storage only. In other words, if there's to be any living accommodation put into it, any bedrooms, any living space, any bathrooms and so on, then a special or a separate planning application would be required. You need to be careful there, because the knock-on effect if you're buying a second-hand property comes when there is a bank involved and there's a valuer. The valuer may go out and look at the property and see that it's a 5-bedroom house and value it on that basis. You may have bought it on the basis that it's a 5-bedroom house, when in fact there's only planning permission for 3 bedrooms on the ground floor. The 2 in the attic and the little office or the little toilet are unauthorised developments and don't have planning permission. That's a problem, because obviously the solicitor acting for you is going to be concerned. He may or she may have to cert a qualified title insofar as there's only planning for perhaps 3 bedrooms or 4 bedrooms or whatever it might be. So attic conversions are great, but you need to be careful, tread warily. You're buying a second-hand property, the attic has been converted, check that the planning is in order, check that the building regulations are in order, and the building regulations, in particular the fire regulations, can be easy to breach, because the escape windows and the openings and so on in an attic situation from a fire regulation perspective is tricky enough. To have to be at a certain height and to have to give a certain amount of space opening to exit the property and so on, for obviously good fire regulation reasons. So in general, if you're buying a property with an attic conversion, do check through A, your surveyor, and B, your solicitor, that there is planning permission and that the work has been carried out in accordance with the building regulations. And the bottom line is, if there is then a certificate of compliance with the planning permission and a certificate of compliance confirming that the work has been carried out in accordance with the building regulations, that's fine, that's no problem. But I have, as I say, seen a good few DIY jobs, and a lot of people with growing families would tend to use the space available to them. It's perfectly understandable, but when you're going to buy a second-hand house, you need to be careful that you're not going to walk into a mess and essentially be buying a house which is being advertised as a 5-bedroom, when in fact legally it may only be a 3 or 4 bedroom. Anyway, I hope you find this video useful. If you do, I would appreciate if you gave it the thumbs up down below. Thanks a lot.